UTV can exclusively reveal the UDA leader, Jackie McDonald, has been in talks with the First Minister and the Ulster Unionist leader to try to end the continuing flag protests. One proposal being discussed is the setting up of a joint unionist-loyalist group or task force to find an agreed way forward. Jane Lochry has the story and her report contains flashing images.
Another loyalist protest on the Newtownards Road outside the office of the Alliance MP Naomi Long. These demonstrations over Belfast City Council's decision to only fly the Union flag on designated days are well into their second week, with protesters sporadically blocking roads across Northern Ireland. While many of the demonstrations have been peaceful, violence has erupted, with loyalist rioters attacking the police at Broadway roundabout. On Monday night, a loyalist gang attempted to murder a policewoman helping to guard Naomi Long's office. There have been continual calls from protesters for political leadership. This afternoon it emerged the UDA leader met the First Minister in his office at Stormont on Monday, and on Wednesday held talks with both Peter Robinson and the Ulster Unionist leader Mike Nesbitt at Stormont Castle to try and find a way forward.
Well, as I said to Peter Robinson and Mike Nesbitt, you can't tell the protesters anything. You have to ask them. You have to speak to them. You have to listen to them. We'll have to have dialogue with them because they are angry.
Why did you ask for talks with Peter Robinson on Monday night?
Because I didn't think, and the people who I've been on the protest with don't think that the politicians were doing enough. The politicians didn't seem to be doing anything.
What is their proposal?
A task force. Maybe different representatives from different areas. One task force might not be enough. A large task force might have to split itself to go into different areas and talk to different people.
Who will be on this task force and how is it going to operate?
Well, I think it's up to the politicians to decide that, but after the dialogue we had, there'll be people like myself representing South Belfast UPRG and perhaps other people from the PUP, UPRG in different areas in Belfast. But it has to be widespread, it has to be all-inclusive, where nobody feels left out. The most important people to sort this thing out are the people who are organising the protests. They have to feel as if they're having some impact and getting some result.
Yesterday, Peter Robinson and Mike Nesbitt issued a joint statement saying they'd met with a number of groups within the Unionist and Loyalist community. The DUP said it did not want to make any further comment until more talks take place tomorrow. In a statement, the Ulster Unionist leader confirmed he had a series of meetings, one of which involved Jackie McDonald. Mike Nesbitt said he's willing to meet and listen to anyone who may have influence to stop the current violence. On Tuesday, Jackie McDonald also met Mervyn Gibson, the Presbyterian minister, who once chaired the Loyalist Commission. They both condemned any violence and insisted it's crucial a way forward is found.
I am fearful that these protests could drag us back. All we need is a serious incident, one of these spirals out of control, and we're all dragged to a place we don't want to be. And I don't think anyone in Northern Ireland wants that, no matter what political hue. I think it's imperative on us all to work towards a resolution to addressing the issues that are being raised.
But how can a resolution be found? It's unlikely the flag is going to go back flying 365 days a year in the City Hall.
It's not just about the flag, that's the whole point of things. It's about how the unions people feel at this point in time. People have been saying it for many years, that the unions felt cut off from the peace process, no benefits from the peace process. This is just, I think, as I said, the straw that broke the camel's back.
Is the aim of a task force to stop the protests?
Well, I suppose at the end of the day, that's what everybody would hope for. You know, I'm thinking whenever I was at the City Hall on Saturday, I sympathise with the traders. I think with the people, the business people in Belfast who depend on their salaries coming up to Christmas. There's friends of ours and friends of mine who can't even get into town to shop. But there are mitigating circumstances behind that because the people this is the anger. People have to appreciate the anger here.
On the Newtownards Road this afternoon, I asked one of the protesters who didn't want to appear on television if a body involving politicians and loyalist leaders would help resolve the situation.
If the unionist people got together, people on the street for the last 10 years have been crying out for one unionist party. And unfortunately, in this country, it seems with personalities, people want to be the head dog all the time. They don't give what they want to break away and start another unionist party, which isn't good enough. We need one party and one vote. And if the people come out we wouldn't have to be standing here if the unionist people came out and voted.
How are these protests going to be resolved?
I think people need to know that someone's addressing their issues they're concerned about. They need to know that it stops here. The dilution of their Britishness in many ways, that there's a strategy to deal with that. And I think people will then, at some stage, stop the protests if that's the case. And the sooner the better, because the protests are only a symptom of the problem. Protests will not solve this. The only thing will solve this is politics.
There's no point to protests ending temporarily unless the people who are organising them are happy with whatever the dialogue is between themselves, the politicians and the task force. It has to be a permanent fix, not a stick and plaster.
While attempts are made to find a political solution, the police say they will continue to have sufficient resources to deal with the demonstrations and try to keep all main roads open. Jane Lockery, UTV Live Tonight, Belfast.